Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. The title of the show, as you can see in the title, is the EPL. The race is on. My co-host, he's been dabbling into the YouTube rabbit hole. You know how it works on YouTube. Once you see one video, you after that you see, Jesus, I've been watching this for an hour and a half. So you're fully into the YouTube content
Sure,
creators fan channels. You following the
sure.
Liverpool channel? You following the Liverpool channel?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah.
I'm following quite a few platforms. Like when you need to find out something about your club or a player or whatever transfer rumor, you just try to get news. Most of the time you get these fake news, fake rumors doing the round. So yeah, you just try to follow the best one or one with the best sources, I would say.
Yeah. So you happy? Kane did you a big favor this weekend. Um, you played the same time I think City played at the same time. The game was on the same
Uh,
time.
we
No,
played
no, City
before
played
then,
late.
so
Yeah, City
yeah,
played
they
late.
played the late
So
match.
they played late the game. So you played and no, you were down 1-0. I wasn't watching the full game. I was jumping around, but I knew it. I was like, nah, they're not gonna lose. Don't worry about it. They're not gonna lose. They didn't have the quality. They didn't have the legs. It's not gonna work.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be a
I,
shock defeat.
I also felt I actually felt when we went behind because we had a few chances earlier in the game, we couldn't put it away. Ball possession as per normal it was with us. The fans stadium was buzzing, and we were playing well, but it was how can I say it now? Like the other night when we spoke, you said Pep Guardiola said you wanted to be fast. I think it was the same with Liverpool. They were there, but they weren't at the races in the first half. I think the game changed when the substitutions they entered the fray. The likes of Thiago, I think. For me, he would have been man of the match if he played the whole game. But I think when he came on, I think we had more control over everything, and especially up front. And yes, the front three finally came to the fore in the second half. So yeah, comfortable victory in the end. But I think we just made it a bit difficult for ourselves in the first half.
Now, I knew you guys. Okay, yes, it's a Premier League. It's unpredictable, but I knew you guys have the quality to make it through, and you did. When I just skipped the channel again, I was like, "Gee, okay, there you go, 3-1. That's what I expected."
Yes,
United, we're jumping around, but like I said, we're speaking United, speaking top four a bit. We're speaking Tottenham, we're speaking Conte because obviously it's part of the top four. The way United came back from the 2-2. That is why I'm going to go back to 3, 4 episodes ago. That is why I said United has a bigger percentage. Yes, I want my team in the Champions League. They have a higher percentage. You see that game? That's exactly how I know United. They're not dominating, but they just have the quality. Fred came on, actually scored a beautiful attacking midfielder goal. He just showed me a bit. He's a little bit of there is a little bit of Brazilian in his body. Somewhere there is a Brazilian in there. It's hiding, but that
yeah, I agree.
and they scored another goal, and I was like, that's how I knew. That's what I know United can do. Of course, I
Yeah,
told
I
you.
agree
That's
with
where
you.
the
I agree with you in what you're saying about the 3, 4 episodes ago. Yes, because if you look at what they're doing now, it's been two on the spin already for them. So that is 6 points. So all of a sudden they look as if they back. Now I look at the table. I see they currently in the fourth place, if I'm correct. But then I see a team like Wolves have 2 games in hand on them, 6 points behind them. So I didn't count Wolves in because simply I don't think they have the consistency to challenge actually for the top spot or the top four spot. But I see they are right in the mix. So with everyone being inconsistent, you can't even really count out Wolves in this minute in time. So
and that
so
makes it exciting, eh? And
exactly. So
that makes it exciting.
for United, for me, yes, I don't want them to win, obviously, but
I
I know
agree.
I know with them, the next bad result is never too far away. So I they have 2 wins in a row now. So I'm expecting them. Yes, they're playing Atletico in the Champions League. So all of a sudden, I have that feeling. Maybe they're gonna lose one year. Maybe they're gonna get a bad result, because that is what their form has been like. So I'm
Yes.
expecting them to get a bad result, whether it's in the Premier League or the Champions League. But the way they've performed this season, this is exactly what they do. They pick up 2 wins, but then they go back to a defeat or a draw. But in terms of the top four, yeah, Tottenham have given themselves, uh, I won't say a major boost, because if you look at Tottenham, they have these games in hand. City was just because it was City and the way they did it. But for them, they still need to do their business. But if they had lost that game against City, they would have been in trouble if you look at the table. So they did their business. But yeah, for the neutral and for
What?
the Liverpool fans, obviously they did a favor.
So did you watch the City game? What happened? What would you have done differently? Is it the legs tired? Because City was home also. So momentum of the fans is on their side, and obviously they have belief. I thought that they're gonna get back, and that was such a. And I tweeted on Twitter. I said, and 100 people liked my tweet, and I tweeted that Son, his career will go down, and we're not gonna remember him. And he's such a quality player. He's 29-year-old. I feel he still has 2 years at a top level club. I know he can't come to Arsenal because it's the North London rivalry, but like Chelsea bought the Barcelona bought Aubameyang, and Chelsea bought Lukaku. I'm like, here's a guy, both feet, understands the Premier League, drops the shoulder left or right. You don't know which way he's going. Quality, and Kane played a quality game. Tottenham played without knowing the way you used to beat City. Meaning, when the ball gets to midfield, Kane drop one touch to control it and release it because of City's high line. And that's what you did. I think 3 consecutive games 2 years ago. I think the year you won the Champions League, where you beat City because your midfield played it, stopped, controlled it, and they played it to Salah Mane with City's high line and with your pace. You dominated. And I watched the games when you beat City. I was like, is Guardiola going to be so arrogant and not say drop a bit? Don't play the high line. These guys are too fast, and you guys have the quality that you do not miss. You do not miss. You guys don't need 4 chances to score one. You score all four. That's how ruthless Liverpool is, and how they've been under Klopp. And
So
I'm watching Son, and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm watching Kane. That was a beautiful performance. The two Italians that were signed, um, uh, Bernardeschi and Kula, and I'm like, wow, they played well. They played well, and Kane played well. I think Kane put the one was offside, and Kane put Son through a couple of times, just controlling the ball and looking up, and then he's still in his half, and then there's no offside. What would you have done differently in that game? How would you look at the game? What happened to City at
uh,
that game?
yeah, I caught most of the game. Listen, for me, it was simply one of those game plans that came off. I think Tottenham, the tactics was spot on. Yes, they still need the players to execute the game plan. And for me, everyone was just on song. They played a very dangerous game. They were deep in defense. They were lying back. Guardiola came out. He said no. They were playing on the counter attack, but that is
Yes.
exactly what they did. That is exactly what they did. And uh, if you're honest with yourself and you're just realistic, that is the best way to beat City. The only problem is most teams that they can't hold out, or they don't get their defensive organization tactics spot on. They try to play offside, then they can't catch you. So most of the teams they fail in trying to execute the exact game plan that Tottenham did. Um, for me, it wasn't a big surprise to see them playing that way. Because Conte, that is his style of play. Even with Chelsea, he made them defensively sound. Then he had the attacking weapons to spring them. So if you look at Tottenham's team, they have the perfect players to play the counter-attacking style. You were just making a point about Son. I think
Oof.
Son is the best player in that team. Harry Kane is the best goal scorer, yes, but I think Son is the best player because if you look at the first goal, Son was the one. He had the legs. He ran beyond. So I think for Tottenham, they got the tactic spot on. For City, I think there's not more they could have done. They dominated, I think, 70% of ball possession. They had like 21 shots on goal. They dominated from start to finish. Yes, the goals they conceded, they were open at the back. But listen, if you compare City and Liverpool, if you can just spring to Liverpool, Liverpool have caught the opposition more than 90 times offside this current season. So that is a tactic that they deploy and they stick to it. That's why sometimes the teams they run through, they go one on one with these goalkeepers, the Edison, the Allison. That's why you'd see the goalkeeper is off the line most of the time because they play so far up, so
Yeah.
high, because they are confident in the offside trap and in possession. So I just think Tottenham tactics was spot on. I don't think Guardiola could have brought anyone on to change the game because they already had all the ball, all their players were there. And I think even with the penalty, I felt no, this is the luck they needed. They gonna go on and actually grab the win. That is what when they got the penalty, that is what was going through my mind. But uh, Tottenham never gave up. I would say that is the Harry Kane of old. Recent stats shows that he's been dropping deeper nowadays. So maybe that is the best way to get back to his best form personally. So that could only spell trouble for the rest of the top four if the partnership of him and Son. I don't know the exact stats, but apparently they in the record books for the most lethal partnership in the Premier League. Combined goals and assists. So Tottenham, for me, great victory for them. But I think
Helps
they
you,
got their
helps you a
tactics
lot.
spot on.
Eh? Helps you a lot.
Excuse me?
Tottenham's victory helps you a lot.
Yes, it does. But I'm going to be honest with you. I feel Liverpool and Manchester City will still drop points after this. I don't think one of them will stay 100%. I'm pretty confident in that. But yeah, what they've done for the neutral and for the Liverpool fans, they've blown it wide open. Listen, if you just go a week or two back, 3 weeks back, we were talking about 12, 9 points difference. Come tomorrow night, it could become three. We play them in April. Should the gap stay the same, it's all to play for. So all of a sudden, uh, the newspapers, the pundits, they say Guardiola will be having sleepless nights. I don't think so. Listen, if you're realistic and you know football, or you just watch football in general, yes, everyone said City's gonna run away with it because simply the gap that they have and the way that they are playing in the current mood that they are, and just because it's City and Guardiola, of course you'd say no, it's over. But if you'd ask the City players and even Pep Guardiola, he knows it's only Liverpool that can really threaten something, a run, a 10 game, because there's no other team in the Premier League that you can actually say no, they're gonna
Yeah.
go 10 games unbeaten. So I think the City players and most of the people that know the game there, they knew if they slip up, Liverpool is the team that can pounce. So for the neutral, it's wide open. Listen, for me, I don't like this. I think let's just rather get in front of them and stay in front of them. But I don't want to be behind them. So
Shake,
yeah,
when Arsenal's playing Wolves on Thursday, when Arsenal won Wolves 1-0, Ruben Neves said he's always played against the Arsenal team. He's never seen them celebrate like they won a cup when we won the game 1-0 and played 25 minutes with 10 men. So, and they, like you said, you mentioned they in the race. So we need a victory against them. Fortunately, we're playing home. What do you think in that game? Because they solid defensively. Wolves has been solid defensively this year. So what do you think Arsenal against Wolves? Because that's going to affect the top four. That's a top four battle happening on Thursday. And
exactly.
there's gonna be a lot of animosity in our game. There's a lot of animosity, a lot of back and forth happen on social media because of what Neves said. And yeah, it's like, why is the Arsenal players celebrating like they just won a cup?
Exactly. Like I said, when you look at the table, you'd see Wolves. Wolves, they actually right in it. They still have 2 games in hand, I think, on the fourth place team. Yes, as we all know, games in hand doesn't mean points on board. And like I said, Wolves, they are inconsistent. Yes, they defensively sound, but they never too far away from a slip up. That is just the feeling that I get from them. I think the Arsenal should edge this one. Yes, it's gonna be a tight game. If the real Arsenal can just show up in the Emirates, you know, sometimes you find the Emirates is bouncing, and then the Arsenal is just in that mood, Then they punish the team sometimes with these 4-1s, these 3-1s scoreline.
I,
But
I
as you
would love
said,
that. I would love that scoreline.
exactly. But as you said, Wolves, they defensively sound, and they come with a good game plan, and they very organized. And even though they've lost the Traore, but they still have a few good players. The Podens, Jimenez, those guys can still punish the Arsenal if the defense isn't set up properly, and the right Arsenal doesn't turn up. So they shouldn't go in the Arsenal thinking no, this one is over and done with. Because Wolves is, like I said, a win for Wolves, then all of a sudden they'll be 3 points behind top four. And imagine the steam and the smoke that'll be coming out of their backside. So
And then you're
they
looking at
they go in there
you're looking at
confident.
4 teams, four teams fighting for the fourth spot.
Exactly, exactly. You can see Wolves. They have reason to believe if they just look at the table, because if they count their 2 games and they say no, this is 6 points, they're going to be in fourth spot or in it to win it or right there.
I,
So
I think we for Arsenal is 4 points behind United, but we
exactly, and
three
you guys have
three
two
games,
games.
three games,
Exactly, three
three
games.
games
So
there. It's a lot.
so
That's
if
a
you
lot.
so 9 points would put you right in the top four, but like we said, games in hand doesn't mean
It's
points
not
on
points
board.
on board. Yeah. Not points on board.
Exactly, exactly.
But I hope that, like I said, if I'm gonna say percentage wise, then let's say United has a 55% of ending in the Champions League, and Arsenal has a 45% chance of ending in the Champions League.
Yeah,
Right?
and you must remember United still have to play City as well.
I
So
mean,
so
but after City lost the weekend, it's like, oh, must they really fear City? But they must still play City, and they
you
must
you
still
you
play you.
know
They
you
must still
know
play City, and they must still play you.
exactly. Yes, City have taken their defeat. It was a shock for everyone, but
But
like I said, for me it was just Tottenham. They were spot on. You get those
But you know what? You
games
know what? You know what?
sometimes.
Guardiola does this. After one defeat, Guardiola goes again 20 games unbeaten, no draws.
And that is the frightening part for me, because Tottenham was the last team to beat them before they went on this run. Tottenham ended now. So so that's why I'm saying, uh, listen, I'm not jumping on the bandwagon saying no, City this, City that. No, I'm still with them. I'm against them, but I'm still with them, because I know if there's one team, listen, no, it is them. They've set the benchmark so high
Yes.
that whichever team challenges needs to be perfect. I read the other day, for Liverpool to win the Premier League this season, the points has to be high in the 90s. So that just tells you the days of
No slip
87,
ups. Yeah.
85, 83, it's long gone, bro. Uh, so for the challenging pack or the chasing pack, bro, the benchmark have been set very, very high. So of course the people or the neutrals is gonna celebrate when a result like that comes in.
So Maguire is loved again. Maguire was hated on Twitter. He must get stripped from the captaincy, and everyone spoke this. Maguire scored, and they won. So I think everything is honeymoon again in roses. As Ronaldo doesn't want Maguire to be captain or to be in the team, they must drop. Ragnick must drop him. There was all these rumors happening, and there was a journalist saying he got the sources from a player, but he doesn't want to expose his sources, and it was chaos. And now they won 2 games. The fans are buzzing.
Exactly.
Everything is good again.
It just takes me back earlier in the season, if you can remember. Fred used to be a scapegoat before his name just got out of the papers. They were actually asking, is this a real Brazilian and all those stuff before his name was removed. Then enter Maguire. Maguire's been there the whole season. Just the other day, Twitter and TikTok were going crazy about that tackle he made or whatever that was. So yeah, now he's back on the score sheet. People, I'm not gonna say they love him again. The United fans, they need victories, bro. So I think they're gonna take anything they're gonna get at the moment, whether it's Fred or Maguire. They just gonna tell themselves, listen, you
Three
play for
points in the
United,
bag.
it's your job. It's your job. So they don't care who it is at the moment. So yeah,
But you know,
um um
as fans, we emotional. The guys are emotional. The guys are hurting. People are hurting out here. These teams are breaking up
check
people's marriages. Hey,
no
yo,
no no
the
check
teams are
yeah,
breaking up people's marriages.
I feel for these guys, Angelo, because I come from a time where my team, if I look at it now, I've been going through some of the old videos we had before Klopp came in. I'm gonna tell you now, if it wasn't for Steven Gerrard or the Luis Suarez and the Fernando Torres that we had, they gave me great memories. So I love them for what they did for this club. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to remember anything before Klopp came in. This man changed us. I'm gonna be honest. This man came in and changed everything. I
So
don't know.
you only want to remember the Champions League 3-3 against
No,
AC
even
Milan. That's
even
fine.
check here. Even the defeats under Klopp, he made me feel. Listen, we a big boy again. Check here. If we lose, I'm like, this is a shock. It's a shock to me nowadays when we lose. No, honest. When we
Mm.
lose, I feel like no, not today. The footballing gods was just something wasn't right. That is what he came in and he made us great again, man. So the same with Guardiola. I can understand the City fans uh when they get a defeat. They never lose. So when they lose, the other
Check
fans
here.
have to stick it right
The,
up to
the
them.
the City fans, they were predicting 4-0 against Tottenham, and you can't even be angry if you make a prediction like that. Think about it.
Check
You
here,
can't even say that.
check
You
here.
can't even say this. You can't even say this guy's mad because if teams like Southampton score three and this team scores 2 and 3, you can't even be upset with you if a City fan says 4-0. You can't be angry at this guy.
In defeat, they both ball possession 75 to 15 or 75 to 20. I don't know the numbers. I'm okay in losing like that because if you look at, let's say, we take United at the current moment in time. I'm sorry just to use them. When they lose their fans, they feel they want to retire. I don't want this team anymore. We need help. No, I don't. I don't feel like that anymore. I used to feel like that. I was looking around like Brendan Rodgers. He was looking around the same with me. I was looking around with him. Where do we go from here? Now we have someone. I just think, check here, United fans. Guys, just go back into your caves. Take your money. Get in an elite manager. Get your squad in order. Come back, challenge. Then let's talk again. But at the moment, they're not even close to being at the races. They're talking about challenging for the top four now. They're not even close to challenging for the title. So I don't even have a problem with them. They're fighting other people now. They can't still fight me.
Yeah, that is what we have in common. Our hatred for United. I want to say it out loud, but that's the truth. That's because we've
Uh,
been
uh,
we've been abused in the past by them, so we still hurt.
no, those guys they murder you at every turn. Check here, you get a defeat against someone else, they murder you. They didn't beat you, you just
They're
lost.
not.
They
They're not even
murder you.
involved. You're not even involved.
Exactly.
They're not even
They
involved.
just against you forever and for a lifetime. So yeah, like you said, two victories for them now in a row. So their tails would obviously their tails would be up. Ragnick would feel now he's doing something right again. They've got Atletico in the Champions League now coming up in the week, if I'm
What's your
correct.
what's your
So
prediction there? Yeah, what's your prediction there?
Atletico themselves is not in the best form of their life. I think they also struggling
I don't
outside of
know
their
what's
top
happening
four.
there.
Yeah, I
You know,
think they're struggling outside of their top four at the current moment in time. So if you look at the form guide, I think they and United they should be similar because yeah, they're both fighting in the same position or in and around. So, but you know what, Atletico, they a gritty team. When they arrive, they do arrive on their night.
Yeah,
So so yeah, I'm actually just leaning towards them for a small margin of a victory, maybe a
and
1-0.
for me, what I've seen or what I've learned now is, and that's what made Klopp and Guardiola such great managers, you know. And same with Chelsea. Chelsea has won everything. Chelsea won the Club World Cup. Chelsea has won everything, right? But it's like it's like Chelsea, they always need a honeymoon phase. They get married to a coach. They have 2 years. They have the bedroom fun is exciting. This action happening. Oh, it's fun. The marriage is beautiful, and then it stops, and then they reboot again. That's just not that is the problem with United and Arsenal. We don't like that system of 2 year, 2 year, 2 year. But that system has brought Chelsea trophies. It's a fact. You can check
Yes,
the last 10
yes,
years that's brought them trophies. And that's what the Arsenal fan and or United fan, we're not too keen on that. We like the Wenger, the Fergie, long-term managers. So my point I'm making is that is why I respect Klopp so much and respect Guardiola so much. They got this where they motivate the players. Because a staff motivating, because Guardiola said one day, a staff motivating a player that has won everything.
sure.
He's a staff motivating him, and I think that's what happened. That's what currently happening at Atletico, where they won the league last year. They came deep into the Champions League. Now you shocked. It's like what is happening with? It's the same coach, the same players. I think that little bit of motivation, a little bit of hunger that makes them run a bit faster, gets that
Exactly.
last stitch that last stitch tackle in, and the keeper makes that unbelievable save that he was not supposed to save. And I think that and the team feeds off that, and that gives the team energy, and they win. I think they lost that a bit because um, it's just shocking that you watch the game and you're like, really, this happening this year with this team? Same manager, same players, but that's how it works. And I think that's why once again, we as professional fans watching the game, loving this game, watching it, like that makes a great manager. In they always believe in your philosophy. Your players they always buy into you. They know this is a dictatorship. You in charge. They never get complacent, and that's what happening at Tottenham. That's what happened at Arsenal. That's happened at United, and that's why our clubs are where we are because of the complacency, the lack of excellence. Every game, every training session, you have to have a level of a standard of excellence. And yes, United forgot about Maguire, but at the end of the day, we watch the game. We see Maguire is not 80 million. We see that Maguire is not a ball playing centre back, which he wants to be. He wants to make a long pass. He wants to drive the ball in through midfield. But we can see he's not that. But at the end of the day, he's in the team. He's English. He was bought for what? I don't know. Who's a technical director? And that makes a team the ship sink, and that makes Klopp an elite manager. Were United going to get another elite manager? Must they get an unknown? We thought Boyers at Chelsea is going to be a young elite manager. Now is what's the former Roberto at Chelsea as the Everton manager, then the Chelsea manager? Is he going to be? And he just disappeared. He's at the Belgium national team. Is he going to be an elite manager? Didn't work. Newcastle manager that was fired. Your former manager, can he come back? Ancelotti, Everton spent money. Can he be an elite manager in the Premier League? And we've seen that Ancelotti left the Premier League. He got he had a lot of money. He bought a lot of players. He could do nothing with Everton. And I just that's why they respect Klopp, and that's why they respect Guardiola so much because these guys keep the intensity high. Like you say, they keep their philosophy high. They keep their style of play. No, they don't care what the scoreline is. You play. This is the way you play, and we will play like this till the game is done. We don't change it.
That is exactly why I said earlier to you now, just what Klopp is, especially if you just take Liverpool, what he has come in and what he has done. Listen, he has, he has taken over, man, in every angle, in every aspect that you can say someone can take over. Because listen, yes, he's not the owner of the club, he's the manager or the football coach or whatever. But listen, if you just look at the squad now, just the other day we were praising City for having two good players basically in every position. All of a sudden Liverpool finds themselves close to that category. Yes, I wouldn't say they have the same quality in all positions that City have, but
But the
if you look
potential
at
is
the
there.
current
The
and if you
potential
look at
is
the
there.
current squad, the players that they do have in backup, these players are the tails are so high up, you can't even believe that this is a backup. But it's simply down to what the manager is doing or what he's implementing. So I don't think we give enough credit to these managers,
Yep.
because if you look at football and what they've done,
For that
they've come in
consistency.
and exactly because you just said it's hard to motivate a player that is won everything and all there is to win. If you look at these guys, Guardiola, he doesn't get tired of winning the Premier League. There's not one player in his squad that's gonna get tired of winning the Premier League. You get what I'm saying? Uh, where other managers, it would be their pinnacle just to get there. These guys simply they want to change the way football has been seen, because uh, you hear the media and all these guys, they quote these managers, these elite managers, they quote them. So these guys, they know what they have to know what to say at the right times. They have to know how to speak. So you speak to a lot of different nationalities if you look at their squads. So these guys, they have to know their business. So for what the both of them they've done, and you know what, they they actually making guys like Mourinho. We forget these guys were also elite in the Premier League, and they are still great managers out there. But the two of
They're just
them are
a
setting the
level
bar
above.
so high.
Yeah.
It looks like, if you look, to be honest with you, this season I've actually put Liverpool and City down as the favorites for the Champions League. I'm just giving Liverpool the edge. So like in the Premier League, they're gonna challenge for that title as well. So they are the two favorites, and I think the two best teams at the current moment. If you look all over the world, yes, Paris has these bigger names, Mbappe, the Messi's, but they don't have the tactics. They don't have the squad, the know-how, the philosophy. Klopp and Guardiola's teams have become too powerful for most of the teams in world football, simply because of what the manager has done. He's come in. If you look at Guardiola, when he came in the first season, people were actually laughing at him for trying what he knows. He was trying it in the Premier League. Yes, he ended third or whatever. They said no, it's never gonna work. It just took the man a half a season or a full season or whatever. As soon as he got his tactic spot on the players or the squad, they got into tune with him. They started winning, and they've never stopped winning. So why would
Yeah.
you want to change? You understand? So yeah,
So
these
let's so
guys,
let's
they've
so
changed the
we end
game.
so see that must be the title of the show today, which is, but it's fine. It should be elite managers. But
Sure, sure.
I'm just gonna end it off here by saying my team, my coach is gonna be lead manager Ateta. Apparently Ateta speaks 7 languages.
It helps. It helps.
Apparently he speaks 7 languages. We
It
just spoke about
helps.
the different nationality. So yeah, hopefully he'll be an elite manager. Um,
Check here. It's all about the board and the hierarchy. They
to
need to
support
back Ateta.
to support,
Yes,
yeah.
Ateta, his ideas need to come to the fore. The players need to act it out.
But
They
but
need to
but
feed
but I
off
think you're
him.
gonna agree
So,
with
so if the
I think you
support
can
is there,
I think you can agree with me that he's proven he need to be backed, right?
exactly, exactly,
Yep, he's proven. He bought six
exactly.
players this season. They're doing well. We're in a position, like I said a cup and European football, not Champions League football. I'm happy. And Arsenal fans thought that I was crazy, that I'm setting the bar too low. I'm not setting the bar too low. I know what's happening in the Premier League. We just spoke about the elite managers in the Premier League. Don't just
And
be
let's not
crazy. Yeah.
and let's not forget what the squad and the injuries and everything you had to deal with this season. So for just being in it still in itself, it is already an
and
achievement.
and and
So
and
yeah.
having a young squad, and please stay away from Saka. You saw the goal he scored the weekend. I know you love that. I know you love Saka. We're ending it there. No deal.
I'm not sure even if
200,
the rumors is true, but
200
listen,
million. Will you offer 200 million?
No, never. Not just Liverpool and Klopp. I see we like to buy these players for under 50 million. So I'm just gonna wait.
That's the show. McEwen does not want to pay 200 million for Saka, so there's no deal. Hey, he's 20 years old. He's having a better season than Grealish. He's having a better season
Exactly.
than most people.
Exactly. So yeah, I just think now, when you guys do eventually end out of Europe, maybe you just make it into the Europa League. Maybe Saka just tells himself, check here.
There's more to life than
No,
Europe. There's more to
there's
life
more to
than
life. Let's just with the way things is going at Liverpool at the current moment in time, I wouldn't blame these players for wanting to join. So yeah.
you'll be. I don't want him there, but he'll fit in the system there very well. He'll fit in easy.
And he's exactly the type of player, the
Yeah.
model of player that would suit. So yeah, he would.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show
Um,
for tonight. Or you want to say something?
no, I just wanted to add. You see, with the signing of Luis Diaz, it's as if he's been there a couple of years already. So it just tells you they've been looking at him a long time to tell, no, this is the guy we want. So it just tells you about the scouting and all those
There's
type of people
the,
involved.
the backroom staff are they're actually doing their job.
Exactly, yeah.
Cheers. Thanks for the show. We'll link up again, and we'll speak about obviously the
Sure,
Premier League, the preview, the reactions, the match reactions. We'll come with our 2 cents again. Cheers.
sure. Cheers.